Today I'm going to be testing out this survival fishing kit. This is the Best Glide ASE survival fishing kit, the basic version. I picked it up on Amazon for about 16 bucks. It's small, light, and fits right in your pocket. I'm going to show you what's in this kit, and then we'll get out on the water to test it out, seeing if we can catch a fish and fry it up for lunch. Opening up the kit, we have 50 feet of 12-pound test fishing line, metal leaders for toothy fish like pike, sinkers, floats, hooks of different sizes, salmon eggs like a small dough bait akin to something like a gulp crappie nibble, and 3 lures, a curly tail grub on a jig head, a straight tail grub on a jig head, and a little fly. Now what we don't have in this kit very clearly is any sort of rod or reel. So we are going to have to make something when we get out on the water. Now there are 2 basic things you could do here in terms of active fishing. You could make a fishing pole and tie your line to the end, or you could make a hand reel where you're wrapping the line around your reel. Today we're going to make a pole, and we're going to make it from a tree branch. After we get the pole made, I'm going to tie the line on, and then my main focus this first time out is to use those salmon eggs on the hook. I'd like to fish those salmon eggs underneath a float and close to shoreline structure. I think with that plan in place, we should be able to catch some little panfish. Let's get out there. Now the first thing I'm going to do here is get about 1.5 miles or 2 miles into the woods. The idea here is that most people aren't going to hike that far to fish from shore, so I'll hopefully get into some less pressured areas. Next up, make a fishing pole. I'm going to use green wood here, that is a living branch from a living tree. The reason we're using this is that dead wood, a fallen branch or branch attached to a dead tree, is going to be too brittle and prone to breaking under tension. The green wood should bend but not break. Okay, we're all rigged up and ready to go. Let's test it out and then we'll find some structure to fish. Here is what we're looking for. Here we have a tree stump and several logs in the water, as well as a drop-off where the bank quickly falls from about 1 foot deep to 4 or 5 feet deep. Fish congregate around this type of structure, so let's fish it. And there we go, a nice sized bluegill. I'm gonna keep him for lunch. I'll dispatch him off camera and get back to fishing. Little green sunfish. Yeah, nice. If I were in a true survival situation, I'd have kept all of these fish, but I only caught the 1 bluegill that was large enough for me to justify keeping for lunch, and that's the first one we caught. Okay, off camera here, I removed the bluegill's head and the guts, scaled it, and rinsed it in fresh water. So now we're ready to cook. A little peanut oil in the pan, some Dano's seafood seasoning, And we're off. Cooking the bluegill whole like this, you get way more meat. If you try to fillet it, the fillets are just going to be super tiny. So better to cook it whole and use more of the animal. Don't sleep on that caudal fin. The tail, it tastes like a potato chip. That was delicious. See you next time.